I don't know. Hello, welcome back to a new episode of DevRoops. I'm DevRoops, and today, people, we're going to be talking about, as you saw in the title, we're going to be talking about Brody, right? We're going to be talking about some of his videos. We're going to have some opinions about it. More specifically, we're going to be talking about his last videos that he's published, right, on his channel. If you don't know who Brody is, it's Brodie Robertson. He is an amazing channel content creator on YouTube. He talks about Linux a lot. If you saw his older videos, he would probably just talk a lot of stuff, right? It is a cool channel to just having a perspective on things. But more specifically, we're going to be talking about some of his newer videos, which are Linux is yours only future, and don't be afraid to try them, right? We're going to be talking about first about this one and then the next one, right? So what's going to be talking about, right? In the first video, that is 7 amazing Linux distros beginners should not install, right? He brings many great points during his video. It's an amazing video. I recommend everyone to watch it. I'll have it in the description below. And to be fair, right, I do agree with him 100% of the way, right? You should not start your Linux journey. You should not do this. This is my recommendation as well, being someone that went the other way. Brody started with Arch. I myself started with Ubuntu. I'm happy that I did not actually start with Arch, right? I do find that I would have probably given up if I started with something like Arch or Gentoo or whatever, right? For I do find the Linux, it shouldn't be hard, right? That's the thing. You should not have a hard time to learn them. And all the Linux distros that he talks about in here, which are Arch, then we have Gentoo, then we have, rolling release distros like, LFS. You should not start with LFS by far. And I haven't even started that. Then we have the hacking distro like Kali that he talks about. I did not know that Kali Linux did not have a root user when you created your new instance, right? And then we have other ones that were Linux from scratch, Alpine Linux. I haven't started using Alpine Linux yet. I should probably take a look at that later. And then we have NixOS. I do find the Nix, it's fine for what it is. Not actually that hard, but I should also recommend not starting it as your first Linux distro, right? But how should you know, right? To me, I only have been using Linux for, I want to say, since the time that his YouTube channel has existed, right? I probably started using it back when it was 2018, 2019, when I had my first ever instance of Linux, which was Ubuntu, where I had Ubuntu 18.04. That was my first ever Linux distro that I've used, and I did not even use a virtual machine. If I would give any suggestions for this video for Brody, would probably be talk about virtual machines, right? Try virtual machines. It's easy. There's VirtualBox now, VirtualBox, which is probably the best virtualization software for beginners, right? Any beginner can use this and not break anything and not have any issues. Again, when I started in 2019 to 2018, I was around 17 to 18 years old. So again, I didn't know anything about Linux. I only knew about game development. I just did a lot of games when I was younger, and right, that was it. And the thing is, how would I choose the Linux distro? How would I choose and just have more an adventurous spirit, right? How would I try things? To me, now that I know, right, I already know how to try new Linux distros, but when I started, I would probably not recommend you hopping many distros. And if I would be even more precise in what I would try to say for someone starting out is have your requirements straight. What do you need to do with your distro? What do you require from them? And again, you need to be really simple with them. Don't be, sophisticated. Oh, I need a computer that can run MATLAB with, it needs to have GeoGebra, and I need to have Khan Academy, right? Come on, that's not that hard to run, and you can run them all in your browser anyway. So it can be any distro. Try to be more specific. Like, for example, you want gaming, you like to game a lot, so you need to decide what type of games you want to play. That's how sophisticated you should probably take a look at, right? That's pretty much it. So then we have things like Pop! OS if you're a gamer, or something like Garuda, which I think is okay for gaming. But Garuda Linux, right? There's Garuda Linux, there's Pop! OS from System 76, right? These are good Linux distros for gamers if you want to. Garuda seems a little bit overkill for most people, and you need a beefy machine to run this, but again, you will probably know by experimentation, right? And that's another thing. Be adventurous a bit. To this day, Linux is still something for enthusiasts anyway, and if you want to become better at using something like this, you should probably take a look and just, have some fun too. But at the same time that I say this, right, one of the things that I started out with was with an old computer, right? I started out with the old computer that I had available, which I do not have it anymore for it just blow up. It was an old HP computer laptop actually. And I just installed Ubuntu in there. And again, you should probably use something that you're not going to need in the beginning, right? Use something simple, something that you can just, sacrifice if it's needed. And that's it, right? Anyway, continue on. These distros is going to be harder in the beginning for you to try, right? It's perfectly normal. And again, if you're someone that you're trying to learn new distros, and now if you're someone, like you said in these videos, like, oh, I'm someone that already uses Linux, let me try some more harder Linux distros, right? Where should I start? I am an Ubuntu user. I use Fedora. I use Pop! OS. Like, I'm someone that just uses my computer as is, right? And I want to become a better Linux user for this, right? It's fine. It does happen from time to time. How would I recommend people to do it? Use, in your own distro that you already have, use your window manager. I am using Sway right now, right? Which one would I recommend people start with? I will probably say if you have time and you have, patience, use DWL. Now, I would probably say that this is the perfect timing for you to become the best developer there is in Linux by far. For now, we are starting to see a revolution probably in the graphics aspect of Linux. As we all know, Wayland now is becoming way better than it once had been, like around 2016, 17, all those things, right? Where Wayland was not ready at all. And now it's starting to become really good, right? We're starting to see really good improvements from where we begin. Now, again, I was not there, right? I was never there. But for an example, when I started using Linux, I had an experience with Fedora. And let's just say that Wayland in Fedora back then was kind of garbage. And so I didn't use it at all. Gaming was impossible pretty much. So I just gave up. And if you're a gamer, I would probably say that be less adventurous then for gaming on Linux, and more specifically, as myself, as I do work with game development, working with game development on Linux, it's kind of a hassle. It's kind of hard, right? And I'll probably in the future bring us the experience of being a game developer in a game jam using Linux, where I had the last game that I published now on itch.io was a game that I participated in a game jam from my university in Ipca in Portugal, and it was great. It was fun, but my goodness, what an experience, right? Anyway, if I were to recommend people, use the tiling window managers of your choice to become better and just be more acquainted with the experience of using Linux again. For one of these greatest reasons for you to be a thinker is that you can tinker anything. Such great examples of people that are thinkers, and our way of seeing this would probably be Brody himself. There's the Zodin that we all know, right? And there are many other people that are thinkers. They do not fear tinkering on things. They do not fear the bytes, right? And so just be adventurous, explore things. Don't be afraid to break these things. It's fine. They're not going to disappear. And heck, and if anything, use a virtual machine. Again, it's not going to kill you, right? It's not going to kill your system anyway, so it's fine, right? And again, Brody makes amazing videos. I would probably say that this one is one of his best videos that he published since, I want to say, this week. So, great. Keep on. Then, there is this video, which I'll probably say that is one of the biggest reasons why I've never done this before, which inspired me to actually talk about him a bit, which is the video Drag Your Friends to Linux Before Windows 10 Dies. In this video, right, it's literally 4 hours ago since he posted this, so it's, right, it was today, at least. Here in Brazil, we are at 10 p.m. There is probably, in Australia, it's probably 10 a.m., so it's fine. So the thing is, he is perfectly right. And here again, right, I'll probably say that if you are someone that is struggling with systems and your computer is not working, and more specifically, you are also passionate about, again, technology. You want to see technology be as it once was, right? Again, Brody is, I want to say, he's probably the same age as I am right now. I am 24. He's probably around 20 something too. So he probably lived the same life as I did. I also saw one of his first videos before recording this that was his life, and he was commenting on someone's post 5 years ago that is how to get offline. And he talked about, like, since he was 8, he had Wi-Fi connections and all those things. It's fun, right? It's really funny to see. And because it is pretty much the same thing as I did, right? Pretty much when I was younger here in Brazil, I had pretty much an internet connection since I can remember, right? I do not remember a life of me, doing things without internet connection in my life. I would probably say, right, there is a moment in my childhood around, like, again, between being born and 7 years old or something. I remember playing with computers between the ages of 8 to 10, right? Because I do remember, working and doing some school projects on my computer because it was the way to do, right? And people loved this. So anyway, it was funny. Anyhow, what we need to talk about actually now is that talking about computers, and more specifically talking about if you're passionate about them, and more specifically, you're noticing that things are not actually the way that they have been since forever, right? Where you own the thing that you have, right? Your computer is your computer. Your operating system is your operating system. Your life belongs to you. You dictate everything in your life. Don't allow people and don't allow software to be just yet another thing that you have no control of, right? For this, it's starting to get ridiculous, right? For Windows 10 has become the final step for people to actually just see, well, Windows is starting to get ridiculous at this point. We cannot accept things like, obligatory AI. Excuse me, I don't need this. It's just wasting resources, making my computer just ridiculously expensive for no reason, and just making my life just unnecessarily complex, right? There's also one channel that's probably the best at describing this as well, that is Ahoy. Ahoy has many videos on video game dynamics for weapons, and he just says a lot about increasing complexity, increases a lot of stuff with a weapon in a game, including a lot of stuff related to real weapons. The same thing happens with computers, right? We're not actually calling a computer a weapon, but the same thing happens with consumption of technology, right? You have no idea of how to control the technology that you have if you don't know what is under the hood, right? And again, if we want to see technology be better and upgrade on things that we really need and want, we should probably take some steps into having some interesting conversations, right? And that scenario will probably be some discomfort, as we probably have already seen. PewDiePie himself has switched as well due to the requirements that he had in his life, probably something related to, a new moment in life as well. I can also be, skeptical of the reason. I did not know who he is, right? And PewDiePie, he is the greatest example of, in his video, he even says he's not a techie guy. He is just someone that has, the needs to change, and probably he just wants to change a bit, right? My reasoning probably to have switched to Linux was curiosity. without requirements, right? I just explored it and just found myself really happy with him, with Linux as my main driver. Now again, it took time for me to become, a more experienced user. I still to this day do not consider myself to be an experienced user. And to be fair, again, if you're someone that is also passionate about computers and wants to be, and wants to help technology grow, give Linux a shot. Give Linux some care, and probably just allow yourself to use something different. Again, it will be interesting in the first moment, but again, if you have old computers just laying around and you just have some computer that you just feel is getting, slow over time and you just don't know what's happening, there is this movement, if my mouse allows me, there we go. That is what he says in this video, that is end of 10, which is once Windows 10 ends his support, right? That's it. There's no reason, and there's no, there won't be any new patches, new updates. Windows 10 will just be Windows 10 as is. If there's any vulnerabilities, there will just be maintained as vulnerabilities. No one's going to touch that. And that's it, right? And Windows 10, any way, shape, or form that you see it, is an operating system that has been the last great operating system from Windows. There is no objection for this. I would probably say that if you were to install Windows 10 again this day, you will be comfortable with it, as I am, right? I have installed, let me see here. We have VirtualBox. I think it's in this machine or my other. No, it's in my other computer. It's fine. I can probably just post anything later. But again, if you do open yourself a new VirtualBox instance of Windows 10, you will be surprised, as I was. For again, I haven't touched any Windows machines for, I want to say I probably, as my personal main driver for something like 4 years, 5 years. So it's pretty much alien, foreign to me, right? I do not know how to use Windows as I once did. And when I started using it once again for that moment, that experience was really great. And to be fair, it was really surprising to see how easy it was to use. And then there was Windows 11, which was pretty much the same thing, but with many bugs to come, right? Many bugs to fix, not as useful as it could be, but yet again, I still need to use it for many reasons. More specifically, game development is, again, it's a pain, right? Working with games, it's great. I love working with games, but there are some really inconveniences that are just meh, right? Anyway, what do I have to say about all of this, right? Let's just end this now, for I also need to sleep eventually, for tomorrow I need to work as well. So again, if you are someone that do enjoy Linux, follow Brody, right? He's an amazing content creator about Linux. He just talk a lot about Linux and a lot about open source and a lot about Wayland and a lot about Rust now for some reason, right? We don't know, but he's an amazing dude. Like, he is fine. Just, again, subscribe to him. It's great. And watch his videos as well. It's an amazing video. This one in particular is great. And just to end it up, if you need help with your Linux machine and you need help with some old machine that you just do not know what to do with it, right? Oh, I have a machine that is, 10 years old. You can still run it and just use it for something. I can help you with that. It's not a hard process. It just takes a little bit of effort, and I can just help you just, installing it, having it configured a bit. If you need help with just, I want to make this a toy, it's great for toy. Like, my first instance with Linux was using an HP laptop from 2012 in 2018, right? 2018 to 19, something like that. Again, you can use it at any time with any hardware. To be fair, it was 4 gigabytes of RAM only, maxed, and at that time, plus, I was using Android Studio to just make some stuff. Again, I did not know any better. I was in the beginning of my college degree, so again, no clue what I was doing. but it was really funny as well, right? Anyway, did you find that useful? Give a like, comment down below, subscribe for more content, and anyway, just remember, just keep coding.